Hey, everybody, welcome back to the show. Hope you're doing well. Whew, goodness, we just got back from vacation a few days ago, actually. We spent the week in the Northeast, and we live in Tennessee. And if you're in the South right now, if you've been to the South recently, you realize that it's 1,000 degrees right now. The humidity is 115%, and I know that's not possible. It would be raining all the time, but goodness gracious, if you live anywhere else that doesn't have this type of humidity, this is the only way I can explain it, is that you walk into the kitchen and you open your oven, and that heat that hits you, that like wet heat that's cooking whatever you're cooking, that's what it feels like to live in Tennessee in the summer right now. Today, the high is literally 99 degrees, and currently it's the morning time. It's like 85, but it feels like 110, and I'm not even kidding. So we took the family and went north. This is kind of our new tradition, is to try to do new things and experience new places. And we went north to Maine. We went to Maine. Actually, we went to Maine, New Hampshire, and Massachusetts. We are explorers. So some people love to go to the beach, sit on the beach for the day and enjoy the scenery and all the things. And for a long time, we did that. We went to the beach, we did our thing. I was bored out of my mind. I don't tan. Like if you're watching this on video, you see I don't tan. It's not possible for me. I burn. And so I always laugh. I'm like, why would I want to go to the beach? Well, I want to go out and crouch through the sand with all the gear, like all the dads do, like, and then getting sand everywhere, and then go fight people to get the best spot up in front by where you can see the waves. And when you have little kids, it's even worse because you got to stare at them the whole time because you're convinced constantly that they're going to drown, and it's just terrifying, or they're going to like eat sand and choke. So you're just vigilant all the time. And then you go and fight, and then you sit on the front of the beach and you stare at the waves and you sweat. And you sweat and you burn and you sweat and you burn. And you do that for 8 hours. And then your day's done. It's complete. And you get to go back to your room and maybe spend $1,000 on crab legs at the local crab shop. None of that sounds fun to me. And so what I figured out a long time ago is our family likes to do things a little bit differently. And I promise you I'm going somewhere here because this is all very intentional. When it comes to money, retirement, all the things, what we talk about a lot is being very intentional with it, doing what you want to do, not listening to other people and buying into other people's dreams and their wants and things. And that's not that easy. For so long, we felt like we needed to figure out how to be beach people. It's like, wait, is something wrong with us? Like everybody, several times a year, if you live in this area, we go south. People go south to the beach. They go to the Gulf of Mexico, or I don't even know what it's called right now. Is it called the Gulf of Mexico or the Gulf of America? I digress. I don't know. But that's where they go. The water's warm. The beaches are beautiful. I'll give them that. And if you hear it, we call it 30A. There's a road down there called 30A, and people literally get stickers and put them on the back of their car, like, oh, Salt Life, 30A, we're going to the beach. And it becomes this thing. It's actually kind of part of people's flex is that, hey, what do you guys do for spring break or for fall break? We're going to 30A. No big deal. And so it's just funny. So for so long, I was like, well, everybody's doing it. Like groupthink is very strong, especially when it comes to money and status and experiences even. And it was like, well, I mean, everybody loves going down to the beach. I guess we better do that. And so we did. My kids were little, pack them up in the car. Everybody's crying. Everybody's miserable. It's like the Instagram reality, right? Of like, hey, kids, line up and you shut your mouths and you smile and you act like you love being here. And then everybody smiles and you get your Instagram shots. And the reality is very different from what Instagram or Facebook or whatever social media you're using shows. And so we did that. We went down to the beach. We did all the things. And every time we just came back and we were kind of like, Like, and everybody thought we were crazy. They were like, wait, what? You didn't love being on 30A? Are you kidding me? And I was like, no. Like, listen, no, I don't like it. I don't understand. Why am I the weird one? And my family, like kids obviously liked it. Kids like anything. They'll like playing in a cardboard box when they're 3 years old. And the wife likes it too. It was like she actually enjoyed it, but we didn't love it. It just wasn't like our thing. We were looking for our thing. So we kept trying to hammer the nail into the board there of like, hey, this is what we have to do. We have to be beach people, right? Everybody is a beach person. We have to be beach people. So we did it. And we felt very unfulfilled with that. And finally it was like, maybe we're just not those people. Why don't we try something different? And people thought we were crazy with this. They're like, wait, what? You're not going to the beach? How could you? How could you not go to the beach? And we're like, listen, I don't know. We're not going to go to the beach this year. We don't want to do it. And it's a privilege to go to the beach. I'm not going to get into all that. But we wanted to find something. When you spend money, when you spend money even on experiences, I'm a big believer in spending money on experiences over things. If you have enough money, spend them on both. I don't care. You like cars, buy cars. But the whole point of all of this is the intentionality of spending money that adds value to your life, even if it's in the form of a want. It doesn't have to be a need. Sometimes we're very puritanical of like, I can't buy things that I enjoy. That's not true. You can buy things that you enjoy, but you don't want to spend money on stuff that doesn't bring the value that equates with how much money you're spending. It's a cost benefit analysis, right? Is the money I'm spending, does it feel like I'm getting that much or more in return? And for the beach trips, we weren't. So we changed it up in 1 year. I don't even remember what year it was. We're like, you know what? We're going west. What's going on west? I don't have any idea. Around here, people travel more now, but going west isn't something that very many people in the Southeast do. Again, we're in Tennessee. So we're going west, whatever. And so that year we went to Arizona. And here's the other thing. What we've also found is that we kept hearing people say that they were on vacation for a week. And for us, by day 3, we were ready to go. We were bored. We were like, this is boring. And honestly, we kind of felt bad about it. We felt very selfish. We wanted our vacation to end, and we didn't really know why. It was like, wait, why does everybody else live in the dream for 7 days, and they drive back posting their selfies about how much fun they're having, and we want to go after day 3? And what we figured out is not that we wanted to go home. It's that we like to explore, we like to experience different places. So being in one location, doing the same thing for 6 or 7 days, 5, whatever it is, we just tended to get a little bit bored. It's just our personalities. It's not good. It's not bad. It's not better than anybody else. And that's what we really started to realize is like, hey, this doesn't make us wrong or broken. This just makes us built differently. And that's okay, to each his own. So this trip, we go west. We go to Arizona. Ooh, love some Arizona. And rather than stay in this one location and stay there for 6 days, we booked it to where we did 2 nights in 3 separate locations. So we would travel. We did 2 nights somewhere, and then we would drive somewhere else, like an hour, 2 or 3 away, and we would spend 2 nights there. And then we drove to a final destination. We spent 2 nights there, and then we flew home. And it was the most fun we'd ever had as a family. It was absolutely great. We realized several things on this trip. Number one, we love to do things to where we create new experiences all the time. So we're not big go and relax the resort type of people. We are the go and explore. See new things, visit new places, see new people. We love history. We figured that out. It was like going around this old mining town in Arizona that we just stumbled across. Was one of the most fun things we did that week. We also realized that we like having no plan. We want to plan a few things to have kind of a framework, but then we love just going, hey, let's just get in the car and figure it out. And then we go off the beaten path and find things that most tourists don't find or don't enjoy. And it was fantastic. So we realized all these things about ourselves during this one trip, and it completely transformed the way that we vacation. And it really instilled in us a love of travel. What we realized is that we do love to travel, as cliche as that sounds, but we just like to do it differently from other people, and that's okay. So from then on, this was 5 or 6 years ago, every trip we've ever taken has been similar to that. We've gone all over the country. We've stayed at multiple places. So last week, very, very similar. We flew north to Portland, and we stayed a couple of days in York, Maine, of all places. Call it random, but guess what? It was 72 degrees, and it looks like Narnia. So if you've never been to Maine, make sure you get out there sometime. And then we drove to, Gunquit. I don't even know if that was a thing, right? We did research and had friends that had been there before. Spent a couple of days there, did all the things, crazy like kayak fishing and stuff on the coast and exploring. It was just fantastic. And then we drove down south to Boston, hit up New Hampshire on the way in so we could check off that state because nobody in the family had ever been to New Hampshire. And then sailed on into Boston, caught a game at Fenway. Like, are you kidding me? And then flew home. Like, we were exhausted. It was fantastic. It was one of those trips, but the money, it was expensive. It's so expensive to travel these days. If you've gone anywhere, it is very expensive to travel. And one day I'll do an episode on how we travel as much as we do. It's not just that like we're super loaded and we just spend cash for all these things. We actually have very specific systems on how we use credit card points and credits and airline miles and hotel points, all this stuff. And it dramatically reduces the cost of the vacation. But either way, it's still super expensive. But here's the thing. Here's how I analyze whether I am being intentional, we are being intentional with our money. This is what we encourage our clients to do. It's not about good or bad, right or wrong. It's just not. We're never going to tell somebody like, no, you shouldn't. Well, that's not true. If it is financially detrimental to you, then yes, it can be a poor decision. But all things considered, and you have a plan that allows you to spend some discretionary income in a way that you so choose, we are not the ones to tell you whether that is good or bad, right or wrong. That's for you to decide. But what I want people to do, what I want our clients to do is to be very intentional and walk through the thought exercise of figuring out what really brings them value with their money. And let's talk about it just a little bit. So I set up the framework with the story of the vacation. When we get back from these vacations, every single time, my wallet feels light. Like it just does. And we've traveled a decent amount this summer. And what we found is a couple of things. Number one, it is a high value for us as a family. And as a couple, like my kids are getting a little bit older. In a few years, they will be out of the house. My wife and I love to travel. We love to see new places, meet people in random places. And I'm not talking about, like, we're not cruise people. If you want to punish me, put me on a cruise. It just doesn't line up, and I get it. Everybody's like, you should love cruises. And I'm like, I don't want it, never. Like the big, huge mall on the ocean, like, no, thank you. We love the off the beaten path places. That's just us. It's not good or bad. It's not better than anybody, but it's just us. And we know that. And it's a very important part of, like, hey, if possible, we would like to do more of that. Like when the kids are out of the school and they're out of the house and things change, we want to be able to travel. It's part of what we do. The nature of my work allows me to work from anywhere. So why not create a life that allows us to do some of the things that we value? And here's the interesting part is when you go through this exercise of what are the things that you're spending money on very important to you? Are you being intentional with them? Most people are not, and that is including me. And here's what I mean. We tend to do things because somebody else thinks we should, or because somebody else thinks we should like doing things. And I'll give you a few examples. Cruises are one. Like people always try to force us to go on cruises. I don't know what it is. Like I get it, you like it, but like everybody has different likes and wants and things. And literally, if you wrote on a piece of paper all the things that Grant would not enjoy, that would be a cruise. But people try it, like, no, you've got to try it this one time. And I'm like, I get frustrated. I'm like, I know for a fact, based on the things in my life that I've identified that we enjoy, that we don't enjoy, that does not fit that model. So why would I test it out and spend 10 grand or whatever it is to test it out just to confirm what I already know, which is that doesn't provide value to us. It's not our thing. And that's okay. I'll give you some other examples. Boats and lake houses. Boats and lake houses. Let me fix the old microphone here. It's getting a little janky. Boats and lake houses. People are always like, like I used to be in this camp around here in the southeast. People go to lakes a lot, and it's great. The people love some lakes. I have friends that have boats and lake houses, and basically what happens is every weekend, if you got a boat and lake house, you drive to the lake house, which is anywhere between an hour and 3 hours away, depending on which lake you're going. There's a lot of lakes in the southeast. And then you spend the weekend on the boat. And to me, pieces of it are great, right? Here's the thing. I'm a very go-getter person. Like I like to be doing stuff. I'm not great at relaxing, and I'm working on it. So you go to a lake, and a lot of people, what they do is they take the boat out in the morning, and then they float in the water for like 8 hours. And I'm not even kidding. Like they float in the water. Sometimes they drink beer, sometimes they don't, but they just kind of float there. They will also go tubing and water skiing and boarding or whatever. So they do some of that too. But a lot of times it's just like, hey, we're just going to go float in the water. And after 5 minutes of floating in the water, I'm starting to think like this, like, whoa, what am I doing? What are we doing? I'm a productive kind of guy. And that can be a bad thing, but it's just not in my nature to go, all right, I'm just going to lay on this beach for 8 hours. I'm just going to float in this water for 8 hours. It's just not us. So for a long time, as I was beginning to set financial goals, once we got our financial house in order, it was like, okay, well, I mean, maybe we need a lake house. And we were thinking through that. And at first it was like, yeah, that sounds fantastic. And then we really started to think about it. I started to see this with my clients and talk more about intentionality and values-based spending. And we realized we don't need a lake house. We don't want a lake house. We're not really lake people. Like we like to visit every once in a while, and we have friends that have lake houses, so we could go visit them. But right now our kids are in competitive sports. They're super busy on the weekends, right? And we don't love just chilling in the water. No desire to buy a boat, because buying a boat, I've seen that and how many repairs and all the storage and the expense of it. Like, it just sounds like so much work. So we came to the conclusion that, like, no, we don't. We don't want or need a lake house. It doesn't align with us. And for other people, friends of mine, I'm like, great. I'm also not here to tell them what they should do, but vice versa. And I don't know what it is. When I was younger, it's like everybody needed to like the same things and do the same things. It's not true. Everybody's going to have different interests and different values in terms of their spending. The key here is to be intentional. So think through it. So that exercise in my mind and go, okay, let's really envision what it would be like to own a lake house and to have a boat. And it didn't take me very long to figure out, that sounds like a pain in the butt. It does not sound, and like, it does not sound good. It sounds good for a little bit. And then I can just picture myself weekend after weekend feeling this pressure that I've got to go to this lake house and I got to check on this boat and make sure it's not washed ashore. and it just sounds exhausting, and I just want to stay at home, or I just want to go do something else. Oh, and also we like to explore new places, so going to the same place over and over again is not going to be good for enough. So it was very easy through an intentional thought exercise to realize, no, let's take that off the list. I did the same thing with rental property. I'm not saying rental property is good or bad. There are times it's great, there are times it's not. So forget about that. What I'm saying is, for us, we thought, well, I guess we just have to buy rental property now. And I started to think through it and do the same intentionality exercise. And so what I would encourage you to do, pause. Before you jump into something, pause, especially purchases that are large. Oftentimes we get this surge of dopamine and adrenaline, and we get excited about something and we're like, you know what, YOLO, I'm doing it. And that's fine if you're doing that for a shirt. But if you're going to do that for a boathouse or a lake or a cruise, I mean, it's like, you better be careful. So just pause, create a little space, have a conversation. If you're married, have a conversation with your spouse about it and go, hey, let's just figure out if this is what we really want. And for so long it was like, well, we need rental property. And then we started thinking through it. And it was like, no, we don't. We just don't want to deal with it. It sounds like a pain in the butt. I've heard all the stories. I don't want to go to it. I just don't want to do it. And so again, sometimes the most helpful part of this exercise is being able to remove things from your list, not add things to your list. And as you're preparing and you're going towards the different stages of life and retirement and kids and everything, like all this stuff can change and will change. But I encourage people to also practice this out. So it's not just a thinking exercise. It is also an action exercise. And here's what I mean. And this will tie back to the vacation that we had. We can identify things in our head that are not in reality. And here's what I mean by that. It's kind of like the boat or the house or anything like that. You can get it wrapped up in your head that you want and need this, or you just want this. I really want this. I really want this. So what we tell people is to go experience it for yourself, let the newness of it wear off a little bit, and then think through whether you still really want it and need it. You can do that with any of this. You can do it with a boat, right? Go spend some time at a friend's lake house with their boat. Go rent one for a weekend and take care of it. Join a boat. I think it's called like a boat club. I don't really know. Join a boat club and just get that newness of it out of the way. Same thing would happen with cars, right? Like, I'm a car guy. I love them. And I am a sucker for like a new, like, ooh, that car looks good. It looks cool. It smells good. And then you drive it off a lot. And then 45 minutes later, it's not quite as cool, right? You want to do that with the things, especially as you're kind of getting towards retirement or thinking of big purchases if you're not there, of what is this really going to look and feel like? Don't buy things reactively. Don't buy things because you think you've got to test the waters. So that's often what we're doing when we go on our vacations is there's these things in my head. It's probably more me than my wife, of the things that I think I want. Like, I'm kind of a big believer in kind of visioning what life could look like in the future, not necessarily being attached to it, but thinking like, oh, this might be really cool. Hey, I've always loved to write, speak, teach, and create. So I would love to write more books. I would love to teach at a university, which I've done in the past and I really enjoyed. So I've got to test some of these things out to figure out whether I really like them. And travel is one of those things. Travel's interesting because in my head, I would travel all the time. If you ask me about that 2 days later, after, a 12-hour day of travel and multiple flights to get home and the exhaustion with the kids and everything, I would have probably given you a different answer. And that's why we do this, is go, hey, maybe we want a house in Maine, a little cottage on the Maine coast. Well, guess what? If we get closer to retirement and we think that we want a little cottage on the coast in Maine, there's several different exercises that we need to walk through, or we need to practice these things. So first of all, is it financially feasible? We're talking more about the art of retirement right now and the art of money, but you have to walk through the practice of like, can you afford it? If you can't afford it, none of the stuff we're talking about right now comes into play. It's just the reality. Don't extend yourself beyond your means. That will get you in trouble and will provide way more stress in your life than whatever value is provided by whatever you purchased. So let's say we can afford it. We put that to the side. We've got this, hey, we can plan for it, whatever. And then it becomes, what's the reality of this expenditure mean to us? Coast house in Maine, what does that really look like? And it's very easy quickly to identify some things that would take the fun a little bit away from it or make the newness go away. Number one, to be able to afford the type of place we stayed in last week, which was really, really nice. Well, we couldn't unless we make a lot more money down the road. We were staying in a coastal town right on the edge of the water by the lighthouse that flashes and says, oh, this is amazing. This place is amazing. It's like Narnia. And the places around there, we looked them up. Minimum was $2 million and it went all the way up to like $10 million. That's just next level money. And it's not likely. It's not like it's impossible. I could set that as a goal and be like, I've got to grind and make enough money to buy a $4 million cottage in Maine. I don't know if I want it that much, to be honest with you. So that's part of the exercise, the financial aspect of it. Then there's the other aspects of it, though, as well. What does winter look like in Maine? Summer's fantastic. The high last week was 70 degrees or whatever. It was absolutely beautiful. Guess what? That's not the way it is all year long. What does it look like in winter in Maine? I don't know about you, but I kind of know what the Northeast looks like in the winter, and it's cold and there's snow and there's nothing to do. So if you got this beach cottage or whatever, and listen, there are people that have so much money that they could do that. And they can go, hey, we're going to go up to Maine during the summer for a week or whatever. That's great. And maybe that's the case one day, but winters in Maine are a different story. So would I feel the pressure to need to go to the same place every time? We already identified that we like to explore new places. So if I have a cottage in Maine, would I not feel pressure to have to go up there and spend time there? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe I could just rent it out for the time that we're not using in the summer. I don't know. But this is the exercise that I want people to work through, is just be intentional. Write it down if you have to. Think through all of the pros and cons of any situation. It's very, very easy, especially when you're excited about something, to fully embrace all of the pros and not realistically look at the cons. So I encourage you, if you are married, do this with your spouse, because I promise you, one of you is probably more excited than the other. And the other person is the one that's going to go, hey, have you thought about this? Have you thought about this? So for us right now, we would never consider that now. I've got kids in school. I've got sports. We've got a busy weekend lifestyle. I've got a business to run, like all the things. So any cottage anywhere is not a thing. And the reality is, for us, if we like to travel and explore new places, then buying something in a specific location might never be a good thing for us. I don't know. And here's the beauty of it, is you don't have to have it figured all out immediately. There can be this pressure to go, oh, I got to figure it out. And when people are entering retirement, that pressure is real, because they're sensing like, oh, I don't want to waste time. Like, this is what I've been waiting for. I've worked my whole life and now I get a break, and we've got to do the things. So what you see a lot of times, what we see with clients sometimes, is the want to do all of these things right when they retire in year one. So, hey, okay, we're going to go YOLO. We're going all, I get it. I get the YOLO. You only live once. And there's an element of truth to that, but there's a balance in between. Okay. And the balance of, yes, you don't want to waste time and put off all your dreams into the future. And you also don't want to spend all your money right now and create a future for yourself or your family down the road that is negative or not in alignment with what you intended. So there's a balance in the middle. And I'll be honest with you, it's sometimes difficult to find that balance. It is for me as a financial advisor, somebody who helps people with their money and their investments for a living. I overthink these things. And it's very easy to live in the extremes of, you only live once, YOLO, spend the money, YOLO. Or like, no, we're never spending $1 again, because there are these uncertainties in life that we have to account for. And that's where the control mentality comes in. That one's plan for everything. Nothing can get in the way. Nothing can hurt us. And that's not true either. There is elements of untruth in both of those scenarios. If you YOLO all day long and you're not intentional with your money and how it aligns with your values, you can cause yourself trouble in the future, significant trouble in the future, and you can restrict your ability to do the things you want down the road. Vice versa, if you are a control freak, which I lean a little bit more that way, which makes me a pretty decent advisor, makes me probably tough to live with, but you're trying to account for all of the risks and all of the uncertainties in life for the rest of your life, it's also a losing game. So what you want to do is figure out which side you're on, cultivate towards the middle a little bit. If you're a spender, you want to lean towards saving. If you're a saver, you want to lean towards being able to spend and enjoy yourself now, because we're not guaranteed tomorrow. But either way, I would encourage you to practice things that you think you might want, either now or in retirement. Practice and think through, first of all, what the things would look like, how much it would cost, what your life would look like. Literally map it out and write it out if you have to. If we did this, if we bought this lake house now, what would the next 12 to 24 months look like for us? How would it be different? How would it be better? How would it be worse? And then you want to actually go and practice. So go and put your hands on the boat. Put your hands in the lake house. Rent a lake house for like 3 weekends in a row if you can afford it. Go stay there. And for us, by day 4, I'd be like, bored out of my mind. Don't want a lake house. Please, no. For other people, they might be like, this. People have their place. I'm actually very jealous of people that are like, this is our place. We've been vacationing here for the last 35 years and we love it. I'm kind of jealous of those people. If you're one of those people, I'm jealous of you. I kind of wish I had a place. But we are lots of places, people. The whole world feels like our place. We want to go see it all. So that's us. So that's what we're going to solve for. But the whole point, be intentional, practice and visualize the things that you think you want to make sure they're going to add the value to your life that you want them to, so that you don't make a mistake and put a bunch of money into something that you think is aligned with who you are, and it turns out it's really not. So that's how you can use a vacation like we did in Maine to practice for retirement, to visualize these things. And we would talk about it specifically as we were walking down the road. Like, I'm the one that's like, wouldn't it be awesome to have this? And my wife's like, yeah, but really, wouldn't it really be like this? That's a beautiful part of our relationship, is just kind of the back and forth. If I'm the dreamer and like, ooh, let's do it. And then she's kind of like, yeah, but let's think through what it's really going to look like. So again, you want to retire with intent. That's a phrase that I've been using a lot more lately. Retire with intent. And that comes all forms of your money. And I don't care if you're 40 years old or 70, retire with intent. Be intentional with your money. Be intentional with the decision-making that you have, so that when you do spend money, you feel like you're getting more in return than what it actually costs. So I hope that's helpful for you. Something I'm thinking through a lot right now. If you need anything, reach out. Website is ellisretirement.com. You can actually schedule a Zoom meeting with me directly there, or hit me up on LinkedIn. I love LinkedIn. I love connecting with new friends and hearing their stories and talking to people. So we'd love to help you if you need anything. And otherwise, we will talk to you next time.